Hello and welcome to my monthly video where I do a marketing analysis of one of my favorite topics. This month, I want to talk about Taylor Swift. She's a marketing guru, she's a billionaire, her album is #1 in multiple countries, her tour is raking in record profits. She's honestly generating the same amount of revenue as a small country. Without further ado, let's break down her marketing and how exactly she does all of this. Taylor Swift's marketing starts with one thing: fan engagement. She is perhaps one of the best artists at doing this. I can promise you fan engagement is where all of this starts, because in order to generate any revenue as an artist, you need to understand how to market to your fans, not pander to your fans, market to your fans and engage with your fans. By doing that, you set the foundation to build success much later on. Without that, you wouldn't be seeing, record-setting revenue, albums selling million copies in a week. None of that would be possible. A fun story I always like to look at is back in the Tumblr days. If you remember Tumblr, it was kind of a micro-blogging platform, and Taylor was active on there. She would retumble, I guess is what it was called, post, and she would also like content. And that honestly always went viral. I remember just always seeing articles about her doing something with her fans on the platform that somehow made its way to BuzzFeed or one of those viral kind of sites. It had a way of breaking out of that and getting into the mainstream because what she was doing, a lot of artists just really don't. They don't engage at that level. And that's not even music related. It's just Taylor being engaging with her fans, which I think comes from a genuine place. I don't think she was ever doing this to say, I'm gonna do this so that way I can make a lot of money. I think she just did it because that's who she is as a person. I think she is kind and endearing, and she's earned that kind of trust and loyalty from her fans that when she does that, it's not from some, she's just trying to do this to get rich kind of thing. So I think that's an important thing to look at. Fan engagement is organic. Looking at Taylor's social media in today's world, there's literally a whole topic of Taylor Swift liking TikToks on TikTok. It's a whole thing into itself. It really is. And this is a part of speaking with their fans, not at their fans. And I think that's a common mistake that artists make. They speak at their fans, asking them to do something, and Taylor joins the conversation with them. This bond carries weight when an album comes out, when merch comes out, when tickets go on sale. Fans are willing to kind of go that extra mile and spend that extra buck and take the time to make that extra stream to make sure Taylor is at the top. It also entices people to create content around Taylor Swift because of the chance that they might get their content liked by her and do look at her as their mom, their pop star mother. But anyway, this engagement leads to a massive following. Just between TikTok and Instagram, she has 300 million followers. This level of followership means that she essentially never has to spend money on marketing or ads. If you look at how many views the content gets, you kind of understand why. On her TikTok video announcing 1989 Taylor's version, it has over 21 million views. People will pay good money to get that amount of views on TikTok or wherever. On Instagram, the album cover has 12 million likes. Not views, it's just an image. So 12 million likes, 21 million views just on those two platforms. In addition, her tour video for the Eras Tour movie, that has 24 million views. So just between those two videos, it's over 40 million views, which is an insane amount of views just for one platform. It's not even counting anywhere else, just on TikTok alone. And she does not post a lot on TikTok, so it's not like a culmination or a snowball effect. It's just whenever she posts, people take notice, and that's powerful. But it's also important to look at other types of content she posts. There's a video of her filming her dad on a Segway, which has actually almost the same amount of views as those two announcement videos. And while you might be thinking, how does a Segway video with her dad on it translate to revenue? What is the direct tie-in? And that's not really how marketing works today. Everything kind of generates excitement and engagement and interest in projects. It's part of that marketing soup. There isn't a metric to say that one video on TikTok led to this amount of many streams. It doesn't exist. It should exist somehow, but really the only way to do that is to take a survey where you can ask someone, hey, how does this video make you feel about Taylor, and did it influence you to listen to her album? You know what? I don't need to take a survey. I know it does, because having 30 million views on a video generates that kind of level of interest. That's how brand affiliation works, it's how ad call works, it's brand lift, whatever term you want to throw at it. That is how marketing works. When you're a brand and your life and work intersects like that, it just has that level of engagement, and that engagement can drive sales and tickets and merch and keeps people interested. That's how powerful evergreen content is, and it does create that brand lift. It plays a part, because if you see that video and then later on you go on Spotify and you're thinking about, well, what song should I be streaming? You know what you're gonna remember? Seeing the video of Taylor Swift down in a Segway and go, all right, I wanna listen to Taylor Swift. Perhaps a better version of this is what has happened with the NFL when Taylor Swift showed up at the Travis Kelce game, which kind of kick-started a Taylor Swift frenzy that I don't think anyone had ever seen. Even the NFL saw record amounts of views on their TikTok videos, as did kind of everyone who was posting that content at the time, and even still as she continued to show up at additional games, and even now whenever her and Travis Kelce are seen together just in general. That content is crazy. When you combine the powerful brand of the NFL and the powerful brand of Taylor Swift, it was like a merging of just two huge audiences, like the merging of two giant waves together to create a massive wave. And that's just the power of the marketing that Taylor has, and how it had nothing to do with music, it had nothing even really to do with football. It was just Taylor Swift at a football game. So it was just something no one had ever seen, and it just turned into a massive amount of views across social media, which in turn boosts the popularity of both the NFL and Taylor. This ability to stay in the conversation, it does play into those numbers. 1989, Taylor's version became the best-selling album of the year. So I think we can see how that momentum helped her build into that release. It played into, I think, just how well the album performed in the midst of everything going on. There was the movie, there's the NFL stuff, there's the tour, and 1989 Taylor's version did 1 million albums sold in a week. And it's the second time the album has done that. The original one did 1 million, the re-recorded version did 1 million. It might inspire other artists to sell their album and just go, well, okay, I'll just re-record my best hits, why not? What do I have to lose, really? So I think Speak Now did about 700,000 or so albums sold. Well, 1989 released during this, giant tidal wave of just social media and Taylor everywhere, did 1 million. I think that's important to note. And it became the best-selling album of the year and the most streamed album in a single day on Spotify. It also debuted at #1, not just in the US, but 18 other countries. 7 songs debuted in the top 10. She was at the top of multiple Spotify charts, obviously due to the streaming numbers. It became a record-extending 6th #1 album. It was her 13th #1 album overall. So yeah, as we can see, I think the hype just around Taylor just helped the streaming numbers tremendously. On top of all of that, Cruel Summer, and now we can kind of get into the tour a little bit. Cruel Summer, after 4 years of being out, climbed to #1 on the charts, which is a pretty remarkable feat for a 4-year-old song, but it's not so surprising given how songs become like re-popular, if so to say, on platforms like TikTok. Songs just kind of sometimes get a second life, I think, as we've seen a lot, where people rediscover or discover songs they didn't know existed. They just become part of viral trends, and I mean, Cruel Summer was already popular, and it was kind of inescapable, and it kind of somehow became the song of the summer, even though it came out many summers ago. Pretty interesting. So now let's talk about the marketing for the Eras Tour. Now, on social media, it's impossible, in a good way, to not avoid. There are fans posting about it. There have been so many moments, very viral moments, just throughout the span of the tour. So you're always seeing those, and kind of the fan reactions are always great. You have people just filming every moment of the concert, their reaction to certain songs, just certain outfits, dances. Just the other week, she changed the lyrics up to throw in a Travis Kelce mention. So there's always some kind of viral moment within the tour. This is an arena tour. She is selling out stadiums in the tens of thousands. So like everyone has said, this has made her a billionaire. The tour itself, besides making Taylor a billionaire, has made almost more than, or actually more than some countries in the world. The tour has raked in $2.2 billion just in ticket sales alone in North America, because now the tour is going international to places like Argentina, Brazil, Tokyo. So just in North America, with ticket sales, it's made over $2 billion. And the marketing for the tour is the tour. That's the crazy thing. The tour is the marketing force behind the tour. It sells itself. You could tour every day of the week and she would sell out shows. That is just how immensely popular and how strong the marketing is. A lot of that is the user-generated content. And user-generated content, is, in my opinion, is probably the most important indicator you want when you're looking at how powerful marketing is. That's because it is content that users are freely creating around your brand, around the tour, album, merchandise, whatever it is. It's not something that you actually have to pay for. Fans just will do it on their own because whatever they're creating content around resonates that strongly with them. You saw this a lot with Barbie. But besides ticket sales, the merch and just everything around the tour is generating over $5 billion. So it's like an ecosystem in itself. It literally feeds into itself. There's Taylor Swift, the organic social media content, the user-generated content, which feeds into the album sales, which feeds into the release cycle of the albums, which feeds into merch sales, which feeds into music streams, which feeds into social media content, and then that all feeds into just real life events. Her showing up anywhere just gets blown up. If she's wearing certain branded sneakers, they sell out or the prices go up on the resale market. Just everything is constantly feeding into itself. That was a little bit of a marketing analysis behind Taylor Swift. I'd like to do more of these videos. Read the article on Substack, link in the description below. Please like, subscribe, follow, share, and all of that if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, if you stuck around this far, and I will see you next time.